Hi, my name is Dr. Paul Leslie, and I'm speaking to you from my cottage on the south shore of Nova Scotia. So I've been teaching with Queen's since about 2016, and primarily I teach the PME 832, the Connected Classroom, but from time to time I also teach the PME 801 Collaborative Inquiry course. The PME 832 Connected Classroom course is a great course, and I take my hat off to the course authors. Every time I teach this course, I feel like I learn as much as the students in the course with me. This course is comprised of 5 discussion board activities and 2 large assignments. So the 5 discussion board activities are worth a combined 30% of the course, and the 2 assignments are each worth 35%. So when you get the course syllabus, which I'll email out to you a couple of days before the course starts, you can have a look at the course syllabus to see the exact dates and timings for each of these activities. Each activity in this course leads directly towards the 2 large assignments. So a key to success in this course is to really take the time to look at the entire course, and in particular the final assignment, to really understand just where you're going with your studies. The discussion board activities are a key element of the course, and so I take great pains to go through everyone's initial post and leave my own comments on that post, and I also return to try to answer as many questions as I can and pose as many questions as I can, and I'll come back to read your answers to those questions. In fact, I'm such a believer in the use of discussion forums that I've actually published a couple of papers on the use of them, and I'm now just wrapping up a research project that I've conducted on my courses here at Queen. I strongly encourage you to do the discussion board activities in a timely fashion. And to this end, I strongly urge you to plan to visit the discussion boards more often for shorter periods of time, rather than save up your time and try to come in and tackle a range of posts and comments all in one sitting. Because of the nature of the discussion boards as a to and fro and as an actual discussion, it really makes it a lot easier if you come back in, make some posts, come back a couple days later to see any responses to your post, responses to your questions, come back again a day or 2 later. You'll discover that you really can create an interesting and engaging discussion with your classmates. Another key element of engaging with the discussion forums is really to make sure that you read widely and pose as many questions as possible to your classmates. What that does is, of course, gives you a wider perspective on the question being posed to you, but you will then actually attract attention to your own initial post. And so once you have a number of people coming in, reading your post and asking you questions on it, you'll be forced to look at your own comments and posts from a variety of different perspectives. And this is where you'll really find the social construction of knowledge in your work. One of the common comments that I heard while conducting interviews for my research project on the use of discussion boards was that they're a great source of really immediately applicable ideas. Of course, all of your classmates, or most of your classmates at least, are teachers in similar circumstances to you and facing the same kinds of issues. And so when they respond to the posts and to the questions for those discussion board activities, they're using their own explicit examples from their daily practice. And so when they're able to share those practices with you through those discussion boards, it becomes a great source of new knowledge and new perspectives on the similar types of problems that you're facing with your own classes. So when you receive the syllabus, whether from me via email or when the course opens and you can go in and get the syllabus from the course, there's actually a link in the syllabus to my personal blog site where I have a fairly lengthy post describing the benefits of discussion boards and describing some of the techniques you might want to use when engaging through the discussion boards to really get the most out of them. On the syllabus, of course, you'll find all the deadlines for the discussion board activities. So I tend to split each activity into one deadline for the initial post, and then a week later there'll be a second deadline for comments and questions on those posts. So I do view the comments and questions and the actual discussion board interactions to be the real value of that activity. The culminating project for this course is a large-scale classroom project that ideally you could actually implement in your classes. And so that goes back to the idea of the discussion boards. Each of those discussion board activities leads you to being able to complete that culminating project. So the more you participate in those discussion boards, the more ideas and the more concrete examples of how you might incorporate some of the concepts that we look at in this course into your final project. So the best projects are those that I can imagine the teacher going into the classroom and actually implementing. So the closer you are to producing a project that could actually be implemented, the better you're going to do. Finally, I'll comment on the library. We have a great librarian who takes a lot of effort to keep our course list current and is very responsive to emails from students. So every time I have an interaction with her looking for something, she responds very, very promptly. Also, the library itself is an amazing resource, and I've worked for a number of different educational institutions, and I have to say the Queen's Library resource is really quite amazing. So I will be expecting to see you reference articles and other sources of literature outside of the course reading list. And so the best place to do that is, of course, in our Queen's Library. I also am very open to receiving emails. If you email me about any question that you have about the course, I'll always try to respond within 24 hours to that email. So thank you very much for listening, and I can't wait to get into the discussion boards to see what you're talking about.